Call the meeting of the Bay County Veterans Affairs Committee to order at 3 p.m. Tuesday, March 15th, 2022. We have Mr. Javitsky here, and he likes a flag salute, so let's do a flag salute today. We haven't done it before, so if you would all rise, and we'll do a right hand salute. And two. Thank you. All right, roll call.
Lazars.
Here.
Brigandy. Here. Stewart. Here. Eckstein.
Here.
And Begay.
Here.
Quorum present, sir.
Have the minutes from what, 18, 20, 22 maybe? Somebody put 2021 there.
Wonder who that was.
Oh,
18.
I'm ahead of myself. 21. 22.
Yes.
That's right, isn't it?
Yeah. January 18th. I'd like to say I'm perfect, but
Any
obviously I'm not.
corrections, additions?
Did I get it right? Oh, I see what you on the minutes. Got you.
Move to accept the minutes as printed.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Citizens input. We have comment from the citizens. Yep.
I'm Gary Javitsky, commander of the Bay County Vets Council Honor Guard. When I ask him for the county commissioners or whoever it is to increase our travel pay from $5 to $10 due to the fact that it's $4.25 for a gallon of gas. And we're going to Auburn at St. Michael's, Pine Grove Cemetery, St. Anthony Cemetery. It's 20 miles up, 20 miles back. We had 6 military funerals coming up already this month. Last year we had 18 military funerals out of town. This price of gas for $5 has been in effect since 2004. So I don't know, who do I go to? Do I go to the county commissioners?
Here.
Or do I go to the Bay County Vets
Put it under
Council?
new business. We can talk about it and decide if we want to vote on it or get more information on it.
I'm down, I've only got about 12 honor guard members now. Our ranks are depleting. So I hope you would take it under consideration, give us an increase of something. I don't know what else to tell you. It don't look good for the Bay County Vets Council Honor Guard if the military isn't there anymore. I don't know what we're going to do. So thank you, and I appreciate if you can help me out. Thank you.
I'll put it under new business. If you have questions, we can ask him at that time. Any other citizens' input this time? Any other input? Any other input? Okay, we'll close citizens' input. Petitions and Communications. MVTF. I don't know what. And Mark is under the weather. Mark Kazmarek is under the weather today, and Gary Bowersock had an appointment at the VA. So.
Did we ever get that air purifier for his office?
No, Chris, they looked at it. They had the engineers go down there and determined it was necessary.
I gave all the information of the ones we use at the sheriff's office. Okay,
Yeah.
so you got it.
Yeah, so they did investigate and they determined it was not necessary. He was just getting sick from something. Saginaw VA, I don't know, we had our VVA meeting a little while ago. We talked about the VA and sort of opening up a little bit. Anybody else been to the VA lately for appointments, or are they still doing it remotely or by appointment?
I was
You can
there
get
a week ago.
appointments.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can go in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been there for physical therapy.
Yeah.
You just tell them when you walk in, they say, hey, have you been sick? No, I'm fine.
Yeah.
That's it.
I have been there for dental appointments, and I have to appear 45 minutes early because for dental appointments, you have to be tested for COVID at their lab. and then if it's negative, they'll treat you in the dental
Sure.
department.
Testing ahead.
Still mask at the VA.
And a mask, still wearing a mask. I think most medical
Yes.
facilities are still wearing masks.
VA is.
Yep. Yes?
And I don't mean to interject, but you're correct, Mr. Chair, that item 5A and 5B were specifically requested from Mark to give an update, as those are things that he was working on. So he did not have time, this was yesterday and today that he's fallen ill, so he did not have time to review this information with anybody. So if we could refer those to a later board meeting, I'm sure we'll be able to get those, get that information at that time.
Yep. And we were supposed to also meet this morning talking about the relief fund money and how it's distributed. And we did meet with Amber. Amber Johnson was with us last week. And so the question is still there about indigent. What is indigent? So she sort of tasked Mark and Gary to go out and, because there's different levels of indigent. There's the Healthy Michigan indigent, which is 133%. There's the DHHS level of indigent. So she asked them to get a number, well, what's the number going to be? And it's based on family size and stuff like that too, if they're single or not single. So I'm still working. Yep.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. Yeah, just to follow up with that, I mean, the state, with that 1899 statute doesn't define it, so it's up to us. So we were not able to have that meeting today because Mark is absent, but we will follow up with that and definitely have some more information coming up quickly.
I sent what the Legion defines it as to Mark.
To Mark,
With
okay.
a guide on the grant program for the American Legion.
Yeah.
And it has it listed in there. I think it's a different number altogether.
The other part was emergency, definition of emergency or emergent type situation. And also, I think, setting a number of what they can do at an emergency level, how much funds they can give out under an emergency situation without coming back to the, coming back to the board to approve it. So those are the two things they tasked her with. We did talk about the rides to the VA a little bit too, and a little bit about burials and Michigan Trust Fund. Had some questions about the trust fund. So we're doing some due diligence on all those issues. So we should have something for the next go round. I know it's been a long time coming, but the problem is the 1899 law. If we could get the legislature to define what they mean by indigent and what the rules are, it's not well defined in some of the legislation, so hopefully. And we've put requests in a couple times to some of the legislators, but so far they haven't moved it. So.
Who are the county representatives now to the Michigan Veterans Trust?
Trust Fund, we had that question. I think Mike Burke, anybody on the Veterans Trust Fund?
Mr.
There's the person right there. We got two there. I think there's, what, 5?
There was one,
Yeah. So it's Fred and Jamie. Is it Mike Burke? Is he still on?
Mike's still on, I think so.
Yeah.
It might be Bruce Douglas.
Yeah. And Bruce? We looked at the rules. There's supposed to be 5 people that are appointed. There's a Veterans Trust Fund law, which is from 1946. So that's old legislation also. Definition of veterans. There was some discussion about honorably discharged, not honorably discharged. I know there's some effort to try to get some of those people that were in that not honorable category to maybe get them back so they can get some benefits, because there may be some of those standing out in the street corner, like the one I went by today that says I'm a veteran, and I gave him a card the other day and said, come on in, and I don't think it's come in yet. So there's several pieces of old legislation that probably need to be updated from 1899 and 1946. So we will work on that. I think there were some other questions about the trust fund, about the process. So maybe we can get some of these committee members to maybe to talk to us a little bit about what the process is. And I know we used to have a secretary. There used to be a lady here who would take in the information and send it in. And then they went through like a phone number where you had to call somebody in Lansing to get on the trust fund list. And then I guess it would come back to the board then to make a decision. So I think we maybe need to clarify that process of the trust fund, so.
Doesn't Gary Bowersack do that now? I think Gary's got it.
Maybe, okay. He was at the meeting, he didn't mention that he was at the meeting, yeah. I don't know, Mark? No.
Like all they do is take the application.
If you could give me that list of names, we'd be interested in that, yeah, so, and then have you come maybe to a meeting and talk about the trust fund itself too, so. Because that's another pool of money or source of funding for people also that need help. Anything else about the VA? Otherwise, we'll have Matt Clark, who's from Saginaw County Community Mental Health, as a presentation for us.
Hello. First of all, thank you to the committee for having me here today and for letting me take up some of your time, okay? I appreciate it. Let's see here. All right, with this pretty quick presentation, I'm going to introduce myself. I'm going to introduce the Veteran and Military Family Navigator Program outlined here in this brochure. We're going to talk about how I can help you and when to refer. We'll take questions and comments and conclusions. Keep in mind this presentation is usually goes to like customer facing and people who are dealing with the public on a regular basis, but I can kind of tailor it a little bit more for our audience today. So just a little bit about me. Matthew A. Clark is my name. It's my handsome picture there. I am a 5-year veteran of the Michigan Army National Guard. I have graduate degrees in public administration and social sciences. I also have 8 years of experience in family coaching and case management. A little bit of a resume there. I was a project director down at Mott Community College, and I was also a career coach for Michigan Works down in Flint. Born and raised in Flint, Michigan. Then I was hired at the Health Authority August 30th of last year. And I like to highlight that I'm from Flint, Michigan, and just to let you know that counties, cities like Bay City, Saginaw, have a real special place in my heart, kind of coming from a similar spot. So.
Where are you from in Flint?
Well, I'm actually,
Grand Lake?
see,
I'm a East Side boy.
I was going to say, you must be from the area. I actually grew up on Pershing and Miller, and then we did go out to Flint Township for a while, but then I moved in with my mom over on Clio and Pasadena, so a little north end there for you, yeah. I'm legit, I got street cred, and then now I actually live downtown, so, yep, right there on Court Street.
Real nice, really.
That's how I know you're a Flint guy, because it's the first time. Where are you really from, though? See, that's the question. All right. Okay, so the Veteran and Military Family Navigator. The first duty that I have is to be a resource facilitator for veterans and military family members, especially with an emphasis on mental health and substance use disorder supports. I need to add to that because a big part of that, too, is program navigation and advocacy. Those all sound sort of broad, but what that means is that if you have a veteran who is working with the VA, or they're working within a system or program that can be confusing or frustrating, or that they just need to know more about, I can be that hands-on person that helps navigate them through that program, help them understand criteria, how to engage with the program, and also connect them to points of contact at the program or at the agency that they're trying to interact with. As part of that duty, I'm a community liaison between the Health Authority, veteran service organizations, veterans groups, and community partners like government entities and veterans committees like this one. And then finally, I'm also going to be out in the community providing military cultural competency training for human service agencies and staff. So if you are part of a human agency service or staff or government department that is regularly engaging with the public and you feel that they would benefit from cultural competency regarding their veteran customers or consumers, call me in and we can give them some basic training on that issue. So, how how can I help you? As a veteran, I can connect with your veteran consumers. I think there's a lot of veterans in the room. You know, countless studies have shown and trauma studies have shown that when someone has gone through a unique experience as military service, sometimes you can get into kind of an us and them mentality. Well, I haven't been a veteran, I'm already an us. So I'm already in the circle, and that helps me be better at my job, obviously. So I can provide that hands-on direct care to provide those warm handoffs and referrals. I'm always available, including after hours. I'm mobile and flexible. I can go where the veterans are. I take a lot of pride in providing reliable and effective follow-up, and I can be seen as a supplement to case management, technician care, and of course VA, VSO care. This says I'm an expert in a wide variety of veteran supports. I'm becoming an expert. That's sort of an aspirational title. I am becoming an expert in those. I think everybody in the room probably understands that veteran services can be varied and complicated. And I've been in this position since August, and I am learning right along with everyone else. And obviously there's a lot of change and a lot to understand in this realm, and I'm slowly getting there. Okay, so when and how to refer. Anytime you've assessed a consumer as a veteran or assessed a consumer as active duty, National Guard, or reserves, and even family members of veterans, spouses, surviving spouses, children, or if they're even living in a home with a veteran. One thing I did want to draw your attention to sort of help explain the program a little more is on the inside of your pamphlet here, on this part of the jacket, it says Walking with Warriors. The Walking with Warriors program is it's a program of DHHS. It's about 5 years old. We provide about 25 navigators around the state of Michigan, of which I am one. They also help with peer-to-peer services, and they do faith-based advocacy as well. I don't know if any of you are familiar with Colonel Brian Webb. He is a chaplain, and this is his baby. He's our main leader up at the state, and he's a very trusted veteran and military member advocate. So if you want a chance to just kind of check that out a little more, and you can see the breadth of the program our navigator program there at the state level. Finally, I just want to make sure everybody understands that my contact information is listed here. If you want to take a picture of it, you can. You have it right here in your brochure. If you still need more of my contact information, I have business cards that you are more than welcome to have. So get it right there. That's my cell. That's always on. Office number and email. So, in conclusion, I've introduced myself and the Veteran Military Family Navigator position. I've told you how I can help you, and we've talked about when to refer consumers for veteran navigation. Any questions or comments? Sir?
Saginaw, how does that affect someone whose residence is another county?
That's a great question. My purview is Saginaw, Midland, and Bay. Obviously, so I work for the CMH in Saginaw, right? So I won't be able to enroll people into my CMH services, but I can still be a veteran navigator as long as you live in Midland, Bay, or in Saginaw. If you live outside of those counties, I can connect you to the person that can help you. So I'll help anybody. I don't care if they're in the state of Michigan, I'll help them.
I run the largest mental health facility in Bay County, the jail. Seriously, 60% of my people that have mental health illness, a lot of the veterans have felonies. Do you work with veterans with felonies? Because the VA does not.
Yeah.
Work with okay.
Yeah, regardless of discharge status. So when you start to have some of those challenges, right, if you have a discharge status other than honorable, and you mentioned it when you talked about the Michigan Trust Fund, right? Obviously, a lot of the veteran services are going to be subject to a wide array of criteria. However, I'm also becoming an expert in local nonprofits, local resources that people just don't know about. A great example is I had a gentleman move up from Mississippi. He was an Air Force veteran. He came up to Saginaw, got behind on his bills. It was completely foreign to him. This not something he's used to. He didn't quite qualify for the trust fund, didn't qualify for some of the veteran services. Got him connected with the partner network. It's called the Partnership Network in Saginaw. They help pay his utilities.
Do you work with Bay Area Behavioral Health? So would you be stepping on your toes if I asked you to come into the jail? Would you be stepping on Bay Area Behavioral Health? Would that be a conflict? If veterans coming in? Because the VA does come in, but not if an inmate has a felony charge. So
I've met with Baba. They know I'm out and working around in the community. So I don't think it would be no. In fact, I don't think that they have focused veteran services the way that I can do it. And I'm actually glad you asked that question because it highlights something else. I'm more than available for events. I'm more of any place where you need me, where there are veterans. Just let me know, and I can be there.
I will be calling you.
Yep. Please do.
Yeah, I would point out in Bay County, there's a lot of groups out there that people don't know about. Some are function as standalones. They don't take federal money or government money. There's one gentleman who has a house for homeless veterans, but he's not mainstream. He doesn't take any funds from anybody, just donations. And he also has a thrift shop over in Bay City that has a lot of things that he gives away over on Henry and Midland Street. We've got a veteran, not a veteran, but a supporter who gives away food. Mark Smith gives away food. So we maybe need to give you some of those names so you can direct some of the people to those resources also, because they're not really listed in a directory or anything online type thing. So,
absolutely. So yeah, that's a fantastic
I can get you both those names, both those people.
That's actually one of the great benefits of coming to the county commission meetings or to the committee meetings is that connection, is being able to get connected to the different services that may not be listed or that are harder to find or that are more word of mouth based.
And we have a Vets Council group, and American Legion is active too in the area. So there's a lot of support mechanisms in the area too, but people don't know about all of them either. So
yep, I still need to. That's something I have neglected is the VFW and American Legion in Bay County. I've been to Midland, been to Saginaw, but that's something that I definitely need to do here.
Yeah, with the red jacket can get you the American Legion stuff there, and then the military, Purple Heart. No, you're with Marine Corps League. Yeah. And also you can go out on the corner of Thomas and Euclid and you can go talk to that guy that says he's a veteran out there and see what you can do for him because he's out there.
Yeah, I went by him on the way in.
Yeah.
I was going to ask about him.
Yeah.
He makes more than all of us.
Yeah.
So, Matt,
Don't have to report the money.
Before you took, did Saginaw have this before, or is this a new program they're starting with you, with the veteran side of it?
So, as I said, the overall program is 5 years old. Saginaw County Mental Health got it back in February of last year. Okay. However, the person that they got in my position, he left in May. So he wasn't there very long, and then the supervisor actually that helped him set up the program left as well. So since August, pretty much since September of last year, we've been setting it up from scratch.
Do you currently work with the Saginaw jail or the Midland jails?
Not yet.
All right, I'll get you in touch with those guys.
Great, point of contact.
We all three of us have veterans that we have a hard time serving. The jail administrator for Midland is also a veteran. The jail administrator for Saginaw is not. However, there's several of them there, they're command officers, and they have a veterans court there, something we're trying to start here, but there is a big gap for veterans that need mental health services specifically for veterans, so
okay.
we get in touch with you. We could use some help with that.
Yeah, no, that is what I'm here for. Definitely see me as a value added.
Thanks for the mask, and I'm still trying to figure out what this is.
That is a hand sanitizer.
Okay, yes, it's leaking out. There we go. Thank you.
Point in your face.
One last question. Mike Clark. Are you related to Mike Clark at all from the VA?
I am not. There's a lot of us clerks out
He
there.
was also an umpire in his other life, so we had some discussions every now and then, but he worked at the VA for many years. So.
Okay.
Yep.
One last comment I just wanted to make about, so I saw the Food for Vets. I know Mark's not here to talk about it, but I know that the MVAA is wanting to go through the Veterans Trust Fund for this, the Veterans Trust Fund agents, and the Food for Vets program is fantastic. So as soon as that's up and running in Bay, or if it is, like, let me know, because I'll, anybody I work with in Bay that's facing some hard times, I'll make sure that they're getting referred over to it. It's a fantastic program if you can get it back up and running.
So this question on the foundation, so they still have to call in or send a report into the Veterans Foundation, VVA, in the state? Is that the process now? Because they used to have somebody here in the building.
Yeah, I understand that they had it going out to the regional VSCEOs.
Right.
I don't even know what that acronym is, but it seems like they're reorienting it to push it through the trust fund. So whoever the trust fund agent is, I actually thought it was Gary out here, but. But once that's all settled out and I know, like, please let me know, because I'll make sure that people get referred over and get that applied for.
Yeah.
I wanted to take it over in my county because there seems to be some kind of hole that needs to be filled there too, but I don't know what's happening. But it's a great program. I did have a veteran benefit from it, and they were so grateful to have it. So.
It's good to have a live body in front of you instead of talking to somebody on the phone or doing it on the computer.
But yeah, and especially that last piece, if you have some veterans that don't have a lot of experience with computers, and it's an online form, and I can help you fill out an online form, but if I don't have an agent, if I don't have a way to get into the program, it's not going to do me any good. So I was hoping they'd have me be the person in Saginaw, but.
Thank you. Any other questions? A motion to receive would be in order. Presentation.
Motion to receive,
Yep.
presentation.
Any support?
Second.
Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Yep.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
All right.
Mrs. Stewart,
Reports, resolutions, nothing there.
Mrs. Stewart.
Old business, rules and regulations update. We sort of touched on that a bit. We sort of went through it a little bit, and the main hang-up was the indigent definition and the emergent definition. And our council sort of threw it back on the administration. So I guess it's out of our hands right now. So that's Mark and Gary, and I'll meet with them too. I guess I know Marilyn's met with us before. If you're interested in, when we meet again to talk about this, we'll let you know, let everybody know if you want to come in. Yeah.
That'd be fine, just
Yeah.
tell me when.
Yeah. So we'll do that. Flags were approved at the last county commission meeting, $2,500 line item. So if you need to order them and get them in for Memorial Day, you better.
I will order them tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
It'll be about 21 or 22 gross. Depends, the gross is, well, last time we checked was $109. Hopefully they haven't gone up too much. And that includes the shipping, which that depends on, how much that is too.
And then Village Hall, Mark Smith over at Village Hall agreed to store them and distribute them
They'll
to any.
get delivered to my house, I'll put them in my pickup, and I won't charge much for a delivery fee. But,
I don't know if you have a list of people that generally get the
I'll get
flag.
with Gary and give him the list of those that have gotten it in the past.
Yeah,
I think you got pretty much a good idea
yep.
of who got them last year. Yeah, I've got the list I had from last year, which, as you know, Van didn't get any last year, so he'll have to be added to that list.
Yeah.
And then you're going to have, I'll tell you, you'll get some folks from the hinterland getting a hold of you and going, I always get flags. And you've never heard of them before.
Yeah. So, and then what else was there about flags? So we'll get those out. One other thing I was thinking about, but anyway, so we have a line item for it, so it's an ongoing thing. Oh, the person to research the graves, we're posting that position, or is going to be posted?
Yeah, so that is currently going through the review. We had to create a document. It's being reviewed through Corporation Council. After that, we can post and then get working on that project. So I asked for a follow-up last week, and I will continue to ask.
Part-time position. And that's funds from the state funding that we get, and they have certain restrictions on what you can use the funds for.
And that's a contractual position, so
Yeah.
it won't, it doesn't really classify as part-time or full-time. It's contracted.
So just contracted to do that one specific.
And depending on the level of funding for the upcoming, it's too early in the year to know, but when the state comes up and determines what they're going to allow counties to apply for, that is something that we can carry forward if, depending on the timeline, how long it takes, it could potentially, we don't know, we've never done this project before, so if this is something we can, go forward to and complete it, we'll definitely look at doing that.
Any question? Yeah.
I've got a question. Have you defined what the deliverable is for this contract?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. And that is a map or an idea of where every veteran in Bay County is buried?
Correct. That is explicitly stated in there, is that this project is to determine the amount of veterans buried at each, in each cemetery. Yep.
Okay, great.
Yep. And of course, records are going to vary depending on where the cemetery is. Some will be on computers, some will not, so, but it's a pretty singularly focused task.
Okay.
Mr. Den.
The old St. Pat Cemetery,
Yeah.
well, the VGA puts the flags out there on Veterans Day. There's probably 300 or 400 headstones there, but you can only read an LT maybe, or an A for Army on the old white sandstone cemetery plots. And a lot of them are laying down, well, that looks like a veteran, so you stick a flag there.
Yeah.
And there's only maybe 100 flags we put out there.
Sounds like that person would need to maybe come talk to you, our new person. Yeah, I know some of the graves are not well marked. Some are from Civil War, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Civil War and,
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, American Indian War, maybe. So,
They were talking at the old St. Pat Cemetery,
yeah.
when we picked the flags up, you're pushing almost 150. And they're spread out. Yeah. We got
So hopefully-
walking,
We'll have a young person.
and I'm sure we missed some, but
Yeah.
that's just the way it is over there.
Do they have a registry at the cemetery? Do they have, like, veterans marked in the cemetery at all? I guess we'll find out. All right. New business. We had an issue brought up about the color guard and their pay. And I don't know if Craig had time to look at that at all.
I forgot to mention,
Yeah.
I would like to, instead of $5, to go up to $10.
$10.
I want to deal with once, because it's too hard to
Yeah.
get together with Fred.
That's pretty fair.
So we'd have to sort of figure out a number. It's always good to have a number when we vote on anything. So Craig says he can locate that number for us.
Yep.
And then if we approve it, then it has to go to the full board, the Board of Commissioners then, because it's a funding issue that comes out of the general fund. That would be coming out of the general fund, so it would need to go to the full board then to approve it. So it might take a little while yet, couple months maybe.
Yes, I can certainly, if this is a wish of the committee, I can certainly review the finance of that relatively easily. I can look at the history and then determine what that would impact the budget, come back here,
Yeah.
talk to you guys, and as you pointed out, Commissioner Begic, then we'd have to go to the full board
Yeah.
and do the same ask there.
So we're going to change our structure, but that's not till May. Just trying to figure out, So technically, we would not meet again until May, unless we decide we want to have a special meeting before then to approve something like this.
I would think we could conditionally approve it
Yeah.
based on availability of finances and the approval of the full board.
Now, this is just to pay the honor guard.
Honor guard for transportation.
Who paid it before? The $5?
It was paid out of general fund money.
It was, and
Yeah.
that went to the Veterans Council.
And then they submit it to our office.
Okay.
Is that $5 per funeral?
Pardon?
Is it $5 per funeral? Is that?
$5 for every military funeral we go out of Bay City. We go
Out of Bay City.
We go all the way up to Big County, St. Mike's. That's the borderline. Anything after that is on that county.
So the ones in Bay City, you don't get any money?
No, we're not asking for Bay City.
Is this per person?
All we're
or
asking is to be out of town.
That's per person on the honor guard
Per
or
person.
out of Bay City. So I make a motion that we approve, conditionally approve increasing that amount for travel outside of Bay City for members of the honor guard to $10 per trip, per person.
A
And then we'd have-
second? I'll second it.
Right. Discussion, then we'd have to take it to the full board. Once we get the number, we can take it to the full board for their approval.
But if we already approve it, you can
Yeah,
take that to the
then we-
board and say,
Right,
you know.
because they would want a number. Any more discussion? So it would be to increase it to $10. Yeah.
What might be the position of the committee if, say, gasoline drops to $1.50 a gallon?
I would have to revisit, I guess.
Good luck with that one.
I don't see that happening, but,
Not for 3 years.
That won't happen.
yeah.
At least for 3 years.
We can always revisit it.
Yeah, nobody ever reduces it.
That's true.
I think
Never
we
goes
could
down, it always goes up.
Re-engage that topic at that point in time.
So we have a motion to go to $10 pending finding out the total cost and referring it to the full board for their decision. Any more discussion?
And to address when to start as soon as possible, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah, so
Yeah, so basically what I'll still have to go through, look at Munis, because the full board's going to want to know what impact that will be to the budget. So I will calculate that. I have to get that in to the Ways and Means Committee, which meets the first Tuesday of the month. So this will be addressed in April. And then once it passes that committee, it has to go before the full board. So you're looking at,
12th, April 12th will be the full board.
about a month.
What's the average funerals here? Is it 200?
We're talking outside of Bay City.
Oh, outside Bay City, I'm sorry, outside Bay City.
10 a month. Last year, I had 146
Okay.
military funerals, and the year before that, I had 162.
Would you
They're
think
not
half
all
of those,
outside of Bay City.
So,
half outside the city, or what? You think half of them were outside the city? Do you have any idea about how many would be outside the city, roughly? No,
I don't understand.
What percentage was outside?
outside the city,
Not half,
Like I said, we only had 18 last year
yeah.
outside the city.
outside.
Oh, I see.
Now, this year, we already got 6.
Oh, already? Okay. And it's typically 4 members for the honor guard, average?
So whoever shows up, shows up. I mean,
So they would come up with,
they can't make it, they
5
can't make it,
times-
it's all
is it
volunteers. so-
6?
Yep.
You're not
6 or
that much
7?
above the
Won't be that much.
So
And
6
will this
people
be-
times 10
Will
times
this be
18?
retroactive, or are we just gonna, when you're gonna have the full vote?
Maybe just do it for this year.
Van?
The last funeral we did outside was at St. Valentine's up on Garfield and Beaver, and we had 9 members there.
Oh, okay.
So it varies from 4 to 9 or 5 to 9, somewhere in that range? Yeah.
7 to 11
7, so 9's the average.
per.
Yeah.
Since last August, we've lost 10 members due to death, moved away, getting too old, and COVID.
Okay, any more questions? So we'll call the
Craig,
question.
do you have enough flexibility in the general fund at this point in time to start implementing that now, assuming it will get approved?
Probably need,
I'll have to check with that. I don't know specifically what that line item is budgeted for. If I found, if I looked at that potentially, but then if I don't know why they would, but if the commissioners that voted it down, then I would really be in, then I'd exceed that budget and be in a world of
so
potentially.
April 12th is 3 weeks away, so it's not too far out.
Right.
And they may have maybe one or two outside area,
And we could, look at possibly,
a retro.
correct.
Yeah, we could maybe retro it back to this meeting.
Right.
Any more questions?
If that's the case, we may want to amend that motion here to, that they approve retroactively.
Retroactive.
If, make that part of the motion.
Maker of the motion was Marilyn, or is
To retro it to this year?
Yeah.
that okay to amend it to do it retroactively back to this meeting?
Correct.
Yeah.
You got me for doing that motion.
Yes.
Yep.
Support?
Yep.
Whoever supported it? Okay.
Ask for support. Yep.
Thank you.
Any more discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Okay. Any other new business? We still haven't found any engraver for the wall yet for the gentleman, Mr. Ewell, I believe it is, Y-U-I-L-L. Maybe in the spring, if anybody finds an engraver to do the monument for the World War II veteran that we've been working on for a long time. And I think they found a family member. I think Mark mentioned an uncle who's local to him. Uncle, he'd be pretty old. Must not be an uncle. Yeah. So, but family-wise, it's been mainly the members of the church that have been pushing for it, several of the members of the church, as they apparently knew the family. Any other miscellaneous announcements? St. Patrick's Day Parade. I know the veterans are marching. They're always looking for people to walk with them. And meeting at the Legion at 1 o'clock, somewhere, noon. Not meeting at the Legion? Plow. Meeting at the Plow.
Legion will be a zoo once the runners are done.
We got much more parking there.
Yeah, they're going to have, Adams Street's going to be closed.
That's why we decided to put it at the block.
Yeah.
That's where the run is going to start and end on Adams.
The bus leaves at 1 o'clock. If you're not there at 1 o'clock, that's it. You're on your own.
Any veterans, do they need to wear any gear?
Anywhere you want.
How about if they got gear that doesn't fit them anymore? I got a few of those around. Yep, so that's Sunday, so come out and support the veterans.
Time's the parade start, 2 o'clock?
2 o'clock, yep.
Do you know what number you are in the parade?
Right,
In the beginning?
right behind the fire engines and everything.
Okay, because they may ask that in the meeting, and the Marine Corps leave me, I'll get over them.
Yep.
Fire engines.
You got a Marine Corps?
Supposed to be 50 degrees and no rain.
Because we don't have.
Tolerable. So. Any other announcements? Otherwise, a motion to adjourn would be in order.
Motion to adjourn?
Yeah.
Second?
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye.